Okay, so pardon the interruption. It looks like we had some difficulties where our previous presentation was cut off halfway through my segment. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So pardon the redundancies, and we'll get this wrapped up for you guys. So yeah, I am discussing the execution of the project of the deck repairs and remodel design. So we met on site on November 11th. We met there at the Carter home in Elk Ridge and got right to work. Tyrell had the materials and tools set up that he had available, and then Josh got there right then as well with some drills and some saws for demo that we used that made to a really efficient project. So thanks to them for doing that for sure. The materials and tools provided on site, like I said, and then Josh did provide some really good solid tools that made it easier. We repaired the steps as discussed before. We used 2x6 lumber that was redwood for the treads, and then smaller pieces of 2x2 wood as the supports that we screwed into the side of the runners, the stair runners, and then the treads were screwed into the top of those. So good and durable, should be lasting the Carter family a long time. We had a little bit of additional scope added there on site. It wasn't necessarily the homeowners asking. It was just something that we noticed needed to be done, where there were a few banisters that needed to be replaced and or repaired. Tyrell mentioned that we did replace one of them, and we put one up, and then we added a couple screws to a couple other ones just so they were good and solid. We had the screws, so why not? We were there, not a problem. Not necessarily scope creep because the homeowners weren't asking us, but we just had the ability to just take care of it there for them. So the tools we used, like I mentioned, were drill and screws as opposed to a nail gun and a compressor. Appropriate for a setting where, though construction is noisy and everybody understands that, we had the drill and screws that we knew that were going to be quieter for the family in the house as well as their neighbors. So did that there, and I think it made for a little more efficiency as well, where we didn't have to worry about hoses and long extension cords. Extensions on the plans for the new deck. Once the guys got to the last step, I started measuring for a couple of options. Now the drawing that McKay included kind of covered both options, where it extended across the back of the house. As I was there measuring, the main goal that was expressed was that Tyrell's parents wanted the ability to walk out of their master bedroom onto the deck. That proved to be a little difficult as it blocked the AC unit a little bit, so the deck would be going over that. Issues could arise from that, where they may need some repairs. A technician may not be able to get to it, or there could be exhaust issues as well if it's in a confined space. Option 2 would be extending the deck in the opposite direction, where there's no obstacles or anything going there. It just doesn't allow for master bedroom access. So that would be one thing, kind of a choose the battles kind of thing for the homeowners. There are some ways around that, I'm sure, where they might be able to essentially leave a hole above the AC unit so that there is enough exhaust and access to it. They would have to see about making some safety features so that small children wouldn't just be walking along and falling. They'd probably have to put a railing or so of some sorts up above it. So new plans were presented to the owner. They were appreciative of that. They were not ready to pull a trigger or anything on this one as of yet, but we did propose it to them and show them the plans, and it is what they were going to hold to on. They were going to hold on to those ideas for the future for sure. As I was explaining, this would be option 1, taking the deck from here, extending it to this far end of the house. This is the master bedroom here, so that's what their wish was. But here's the AC unit that would be covered. Would definitely need to be addressed, that situation, whether they left a hole in the deck above it so that there was enough exhaust to go above. As we all know, AC units have a large fan here that need to blow up. Or they could see about moving the AC unit here to the side of the house. Now, we didn't go as far into that to propose them doing that because we didn't get in the basement to see what kind of room or walls or any structural issues may be there. So we didn't get into that or anything, but that is just one that would have to be thought about. And like I said, the option 2 would be going this opposite way. Nothing there to be in the way, but it just wouldn't allow for this master bedroom access. So, but yeah, that's the execution. It went really well executed. The guys worked well together. I think Josh helped definitely bringing a bag of breakfast sandwiches for us that day, so we really appreciated that. We got right to work, and I think we got there about 9 o'clock or so, and we were out of there by noon. So it didn't take too much of a Saturday. A lot of us were really busy guys and had a lot to do in our off time, so that was really helpful. But anyways, that's the execution. I'm going to turn the time over to John to wrap things up.
Thanks, Clayton. So what we had for our conclusion is basically we learned, we had getting some feedback. We had some lessons learned. What went right? What went wrong? On construction day, everybody was on time. Everybody was there to work. We had very minimal issues at all. We knocked it out pretty quickly. Like Clayton said, we were done within a couple hours on a Saturday. So we minimized the amount of noise involved. If people were trying to sleep in on a Saturday in that neighborhood. Another thing that went right is that the project was completed on.
Okay, hey John.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tyrell just sent us a text. The whole thing's uploaded.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.